My name is Aaron Matthews. I own McDowell Local Restaurant on Main Street. We're following all of the instituted guidelines. We're down at half capacity. We are sanitizing everything that gets touched on a regular basis. We have hourly sweeps where we take care of all the knobs and bathroom fixtures. Every table and all the chairs are sanitized when a guest gets up and leaves. We're sanitizing menus as soon as they're done being used. We've upped our glove usage to be beyond just handling food. We're using them for just about everything now. We're making sure that customers are distanced and are wearing their masks when they're in the restaurant and not at the table. And we're also trying to be very sure that customers know we can do curbside as well as carry out in case they don't want to come inside and be around everybody else. We've tried very hard to make it as easy and accessible as possible to people who are maybe worried about being out in this time. When you have a large group of people getting together, regardless of the situation, it's possible for someone to get sick and bring illness in, even before the pandemic. But by instituting things like social distancing and keeping non-related groups away from each other, we're hoping to slow down the spread and maybe keep people from getting sick. And certainly trying to minimize the risk for everyone involved, not just the guests, but also the staff. It's a small staff, so if two of my people get sick, I could potentially have to close for a couple of days. And most small businesses can't afford to close for a couple of days, which I'm sure everybody knows. It's also important because we don't want to be the reason someone gets sick and potentially loses their life. It's not a good thing at all. We want to be doing our best to keep everybody safe, regardless of whether you work here or you eat here, or you're just someone who knows someone who works here or eats here. If we have to go back to phase one, which was, of course, just carry out and curbside, I had to furlough almost my entire staff and basically do all of the kitchen stuff myself from open to close with only one person here working the phones and the register. The impact to my staff was minimal because at the time there was additional unemployment for everyone, and it was definitely something we could do and recover from. We also were very lucky because early on during phase one, our regular customers stayed regular and were very generous and tipped the people I had working the register very well and probably ordered more food than they normally would have because they were concerned about us. And we appreciated that more than we could say. But if this happens again, I don't know what to expect. We'll probably have to do very much the same thing. It'll probably end up being me and one other person working the front line with reduced hours and potentially a reduced menu. Certainly, carry out is not the same as dine-in. You lose about 20% of your revenue right off the top when that happens. That's difficult. I mean, no one's fully recovered. Half capacity hurts, but zero capacity is potentially failing.